Picture this. The wind howls across the endless steppes of Mongolia, carrying snow that cuts like glass. Temperatures plummet to -40 degrees Fahrenheit. Most of us would freeze to death in hours. Yet Mongol herders crawl into their felt tents, called yurts, and sleep soundly through the night, without any modern heating whatsoever. No electric blankets, no propane heaters, just ancient wisdom that turns a simple cloth structure into a survival machine. How do they do it? The answer lies in techniques so ingenious they make our modern heating systems look primitive by comparison. These aren't just camping tips. This is 1,500 years of perfected cold weather survival distilled into methods that could save your life. The yurt itself is the first miracle. From the outside, it looks like nothing more than white felt stretched over wooden poles. But this humble appearance hides engineering brilliance that would impress NASA. The circular design isn't just pretty. It's the most aerodynamically stable shape possible. When 100-mile-per-hour winds try to tear the structure apart, the round walls deflect that force like water flowing around a stone. But here's where it gets really clever. The felt walls aren't just one layer. Traditional Mongol yurts use multiple layers of compressed wool felt, each one trapping thousands of tiny air pockets. These air pockets work like nature's insulation, creating thermal barriers that can maintain interior temperatures 30 to 40 degrees warmer than outside. That means when it's -20 outside, the yurt stays above 10 degrees inside, just from body heat alone. The construction process reveals even more secrets. Master yurt builders select wool from sheep that survived harsh winters. Why? Because that wool has developed natural properties that synthetic materials can't match. Each wool fiber has microscopic scales that trap warm air while allowing moisture to escape. It's like having a breathing blanket that regulates temperature automatically. The wooden frame holds its own mysteries. Mongol craftsmen use specific types of wood that flex without breaking in extreme cold. Birch and willow bend with the wind rather than snapping. The lattice walls compress and expand like a living thing, absorbing storm forces that would destroy rigid structures. Some yurts have withstood blizzards for decades without needing major repairs. Now, here's where most people get confused about yurt heating. You'd think the goal is to generate as much heat as possible. Wrong. The real secret is controlling airflow. Traditional yurts have a crown wheel at the top with flaps that can be adjusted like airplane control surfaces. These aren't just for decoration. They create precise ventilation that prevents deadly carbon dioxide buildup while maintaining warmth. During sleeping hours, herders partially close the crown flaps, creating what engineers call a thermal stack effect. Warm air rises to the top of the yurt, gets trapped by the crown, then circulates back down along the felt walls. This creates a continuous loop of warm air circulation powered by nothing but temperature differences. It's like having a heating system that runs on physics. But the crown wheel serves another crucial function most people never consider: moisture control. Every person exhales about a pint of water vapor during sleep. In a sealed tent, this moisture would condense on the walls, freeze, and make everything damp and cold by morning. The adjustable crown wheel allows just enough airflow to carry away moisture without losing precious heat. Too much ventilation and you freeze. Too little, and you wake up in a wet, icy cave. Master herders can read wind conditions and adjust the crown wheel with surgical precision. Strong winds from the north, close it more on that side. Calm night, open it slightly to prevent stuffiness. This isn't guesswork. It's generations of accumulated knowledge about air pressure, wind patterns, and thermal dynamics. The floor system reveals another layer of genius. Mongols don't just throw down sleeping bags on bare ground. They create elaborate floor layers that work like a thermal sandwich. First comes a base layer of dried animal dung. Yes, you read that right. Dried dung creates an insulating barrier that prevents ground cold from seeping up through the floor. Then comes a layer of thick felt rugs, often family heirlooms passed down through generations. These felt rugs aren't just comfort items. They're precisely woven to create air gaps that trap warm air rising from body heat. The patterns aren't decorative accidents either. Traditional designs channel airflow in specific directions, creating warm zones where people sleep and cooler zones for storage. It's interior climate control designed into the carpet. On top of the felt rugs go sheepskin sleeping mats with the wool facing upward. These create direct contact insulation that wicks moisture away from the body while providing cushioning. The layering system means cold from the frozen ground has to travel through multiple barriers before reaching sleeping bodies. By the time any cold air gets through, it's been warmed by each layer. Mongolian sleeping techniques are just as sophisticated as their yurt construction. They don't just crawl into sleeping bags and hope for the best. Strategic positioning turns each person into a heat source for others. Families sleep in specific patterns that maximize shared body heat while maintaining personal space. Children sleep between adults, creating human heat sandwich layers. The traditional sleeping position isn't random either. Mongols sleep curled on their sides in what scientists now call the fetal position. This minimizes surface area exposed to cold air while maximizing the amount of body heat trapped within their sleeping materials. They also sleep with their heads positioned to take advantage of the yurt's air circulation patterns, breathing pre-warmed air that's been circulating through the thermal loop. Clothing plays a massive role in the system. During sleep, Mongols wear specific layering combinations designed for temperature regulation. The inner layer is always wool that wicks moisture away from skin. The middle layer provides insulation bulk. The outer layer protects against any cold air drafts. But here's the brilliant part. These layers are designed to be adjusted without getting out of bed. Traditional Mongol sleep robes have strategic openings that can be sealed or opened for temperature control. Too hot? Open a chest vent. Getting cold? Seal everything up. The robes are cut long enough to cover the feet completely, eliminating one of the major heat loss points. Some robes even have built-in mittens that can be deployed or folded back as needed. The materials used in these sleeping robes tell their own story. Outer layers often use wind-resistant leather or tightly woven fabric. Insulation layers use the finest sheep wool or even yak down. Inner layers use the softest wool that won't irritate skin during long winter nights. Each material is chosen for specific thermal properties that complement the others. Food timing becomes crucial for cold weather sleeping. Mongols eat specific meals before bed that are designed to generate internal heat during the coldest parts of the night. High-fat foods like fermented maize milk and dried meat provide slow-burning fuel that keeps metabolic fires burning for hours. They time these meals so peak digestion heat occurs around 3 in the morning, when outside temperatures typically reach their lowest point. Traditional winter foods are calorie bombs that would shock modern dietitians. Fermented dairy products provide sustained energy release. Dried meats offer protein that requires energy to digest, generating body heat as a byproduct. Animal fats provide concentrated calories that burn slowly and steadily. A single evening meal can provide enough internal heat generation to last through an entire night of sub-zero sleeping. The timing of food consumption follows ancient patterns based on centuries of observation. Early evening meals provide initial warmth for falling asleep. Late evening snacks ensure heat generation continues through the night. Some herders even wake briefly around midnight for additional high-fat snacks that restart their metabolic furnaces for the coldest pre-dawn hours. But the most ingenious heating method involves zero food or technology. It's called shared heat mass, and it works like this. Multiple family members sleep close together, creating a combined thermal mass much larger than individual bodies. 2 people generate twice as much heat as 1. 3 people create a thermal zone that can maintain comfortable temperatures even in extremely cold conditions. This isn't just about crowding together for warmth. Mongol families position themselves in specific arrangements that optimize heat distribution. Adults with higher metabolic rates sleep on the outside edges, creating thermal barriers. Children and elderly family members sleep in the protected center, where they benefit from everyone else's heat generation. Even the family dog has a strategic position that adds to the overall heat mass. The psychological aspect of cold weather sleeping gets overlooked, but Mongols have mastered this too. Instead of lying awake worrying about freezing, they use traditional meditation techniques that actually help maintain body temperature. By staying calm and controlling breathing, they avoid the stress responses that constrict blood flow and make people feel colder. Traditional Mongol breathing techniques during sleep serve multiple purposes. Slow, deep breathing reduces the amount of cold air entering the lungs. Breathing through the nose warms incoming air before it reaches the respiratory system. Some herders even practice controlled breathing patterns that generate internal heat through increased oxygen circulation. The mental preparation for cold weather sleeping involves specific rituals that put the mind at ease. Herders tell traditional stories that reinforce confidence in their survival methods. They perform small ceremonies thanking the yurt for protection. These aren't just superstitions. They're psychological tools that prevent panic and promote the calm mental state necessary for quality sleep in extreme conditions. Community heating strategies extend beyond individual families. During particularly harsh weather, multiple families might share larger yurts, creating heat islands that can maintain comfortable temperatures even in the worst blizzards. These communal heating arrangements follow strict social protocols developed over centuries of winter survival. The sharing of resources during cold snaps demonstrates sophisticated survival logistics. Families with better fuel supplies share with those running low. Communities rotate heat-generating duties, ensuring continuous warmth production. Some families specialize in tending fires, while others focus on food preparation or children's care. Everyone contributes to the overall survival network. Emergency heating techniques come into play during extreme weather events. When temperatures drop beyond normal winter levels, Mongol herders employ desperate measures that can mean the difference between life and death. They might bring small animals into the yurt for additional body heat. They burn furniture or clothing if necessary. They create human heat chains where everyone lies in contact for maximum warmth sharing. Modern science has finally caught up with what Mongol herders knew instinctively. Research confirms that properly constructed yurts can maintain interior temperatures significantly warmer than outside conditions using only passive solar gain and body heat. Studies show that the felt wall construction provides insulation values comparable to modern building materials. Laboratory tests prove that traditional sleeping techniques maximize heat retention while minimizing energy expenditure. The yurt's thermal efficiency has impressed engineers studying sustainable architecture. The structure requires no external energy input, yet maintains livable conditions in environments that kill unprepared humans within hours. Some modern survival experts consider traditional yurts superior to contemporary camping gear for extreme cold weather survival. What makes these techniques so remarkable is their simplicity and reliability. No batteries to die, no fuel to run out, no mechanical systems to break down. Just fundamental physics, natural materials, and human ingenuity perfected over 15 centuries of harsh winter survival. The knowledge transfer system ensures these techniques never get lost. Master herders teach apprentices through hands-on experience during actual cold weather events. Children learn by doing, starting with simple tasks and gradually mastering complex thermal management skills. Each generation adds refinements based on their own survival experiences. Traditional yurt construction skills are considered sacred knowledge in many Mongol communities. Master builders guard their techniques carefully, passing them only to worthy students who demonstrate proper respect for the craft. The construction of a family's yurt becomes a community event where everyone contributes skills and knowledge. Regional variations in yurt heating reflect different environmental challenges across Mongolia's vast territory. Mountain herders use different techniques than plains dwellers. Northern communities employ methods unknown in southern regions. Each adaptation represents generations of trial and error in specific environments. The seasonal preparation for winter sleeping begins months in advance. Herders inspect and repair yurt components during summer months. They gather and process the finest wool for new felt layers. They stockpile dried foods and prepare sleeping materials. By the time winter arrives, everything is ready for months of cold weather survival. Weather prediction skills help herders prepare for particularly challenging nights. They read cloud formations, wind patterns, and animal behavior to forecast temperature drops. This advanced knowledge allows them to implement appropriate heating strategies before conditions become dangerous. Some herders can predict weather changes days in advance using traditional observation methods. The integration of all these techniques creates a survival system that functions like a well-orchestrated machine. Proper yurt construction provides the foundation. Strategic sleeping arrangements maximize heat sharing. Appropriate clothing regulates individual temperature. Correct food timing fuels internal heat generation. Mental preparation prevents panic and promotes restful sleep. What we can learn from Mongol herders goes far beyond camping tips. Their methods demonstrate how human ingenuity can overcome seemingly impossible environmental challenges. They show us that survival doesn't always require high technology. Sometimes the most elegant solutions come from understanding natural principles and working with them rather than against them. These techniques aren't just historical curiosities. They remain relevant today for anyone who might face cold weather survival situations. Campers, hikers, and outdoor enthusiasts can adapt Mongol methods for modern use. Even people facing home heating emergencies can apply these principles using readily available materials. The environmental lessons are equally valuable. Mongol heating techniques consume zero fossil fuels and produce no emissions. They demonstrate how human comfort and environmental protection can coexist. Their sustainable approach to cold weather survival offers insights for modern green building design and energy-efficient architecture. What makes Mongol cold weather sleeping techniques truly remarkable is their holistic approach. Every element works together. The yurt structure, sleeping arrangements, clothing systems, food strategies, and mental preparation form an integrated survival methodology that has kept people alive and comfortable for over a millennium in some of Earth's most challenging environments. Today, as we face energy crises and environmental challenges, perhaps it's time to rediscover the wisdom these nomadic herders perfected centuries ago. Their techniques prove that with proper knowledge, simple materials, and time-tested methods, humans can sleep comfortably even when nature unleashes her coldest fury. The next time you're struggling to stay warm during a cold night, remember the Mongol herders sleeping peacefully in their felt tents while Arctic winds howl outside. They've already solved the problem you're facing. Their solution doesn't require electricity, doesn't need fuel, and works reliably night after night, winter after winter. Sometimes the most advanced technology is actually the most ancient wisdom.